fresh back from the DEMA show where I asked the tough questions to important people.
Why did it take Shearwater so damn long to put some GPS on some stuff?
Jokes, here are my top takeaways from the DEMA show 2025 concerning the future of diving. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Divers Ready. My name's James. As always, so great to see all of your smiling faces. Now, the Dive Equipment and Marketing Association, familiarly known as DEMA, held their annual 2025 edition trade show just last week in Orlando, Florida. So I jumped in my truck and made the 3.5-hour drive north in the Sunshine State to go check out the new offerings. The first thing that was noticeable is the DEMA show, the footprint of the show itself, gets smaller and smaller and smaller year upon year. But one thing that doesn't change is that Rite still has the same size booth. They are maintaining the same size booth whilst their competitors are shrinking and shrinking and their footprints are getting smaller and smaller. And that is testament to Rite's just abject refusal to sit still. They are continually improving and looking to improve all of their products across the line. I got a rundown from Shelby from Rite's marketing team as to what's new with them.
And something neat about this one is it is latchless. So you can see There's no big latches on the sides.
Nothing you can accidentally knock open.
Exactly, right? And so how this works is there's a little button up here. You push that button, you twist, that unlocks it.
Nice.
Pull it open. This is where you would charge it. If you want the live connection for the light to be on, you put the prongs in the red circles. If you want to put it in travel mode, maybe you're putting it in your backpack to go on an airplane, you're going to put the prongs in these darker circles over there.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then to reconnect, pretty easy. Basically, you want to line the little button up with the notch here, right? And once that's lined up, you push down and twist to lock it in place.
And snaps in place.
Yeah.
So you know it's secure.
Exactly. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Very cool. Burn time on those?
On the tall canister, on the turbo setting, it's going to be a 4.5 hour. On the short canister, on the turbo setting, it's going to be a 2.5 hour. And then obviously as you go into lower power modes, that time expands and expands and expands.
Yeah, super cool. Mm-hmm. Very cool. And as you said, that comes in back mount and side mount.
Yes.
Hose orientations.
Yes, exactly. This is also new. The monster. I like to do the size comparison with my face because it just disappears. This is the new Explorer reel. It's basically a gigantic azimuth. So if you got anybody in your life laying some monster line or replacing line, this holds about 1,500 feet.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I held it earlier. I didn't like it. It made my hands look small.
I know, right? It's like the Burger King commercial. And then,
brilliant.
Thank you. We've made some updates to our flagship harnesses, the Trans Pack, the Trans Plate. So over at the Trans Pack, we have updated the shoulder attachment hardware. It used to just be kind of like a standard D-ring. Now it is black anodized aluminum, so it's kind of slick looking.
Nice.
It has a little bit of play, about as much play as you need to make it easy to get in and out of the harness, and to kind of conform to your shape as you put it on, right? The thing we were trying to solve with that is that with the D-ring, sometimes it would flip too much and like twist and kind of get pulled in an uncomfortable way. So I think we've solved that with these.
Yeah, very cool.
We've also updated this to the black anodized aluminum.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's just nice
Stronger
looking. Yeah. And then all of the hardware was made specifically for us, so it's polished stainless steel. You can see it's like a flatter profile instead of your standard round D-ring. And so we are going to be the only place that you're able to get this style hardware. The back plate's been updated a bit, so we changed the shape of this plate here so that the grommets are always exposed, right? And so you can dive a transpac with doubles as well. So you can use this to like run bungee through, to rig a stage bottle, make it behave, to attach like an inflation bottle for your dry suit, that kind of thing. So these are now exposed instead of hidden behind the pad. As we've changed the shape of the pad as well, it's just going to be a little bit more comfortable with its new shape, and the design has changed. It's just a bit of a facelift.
Love it.
Thank you, thank you.
Awesome.
What else we got here? These are super cool. I love these.
Yes. I saw these already.
So
I have 1,000 uses for these.
Yeah, amazing. So the original like kind of inspiration for this was the rebreather, the chest mount. In order to attach the chest mount to your harness, you've got to add an extra set of D-rings to get them high enough so that the rebreather sits in the right spot. So normally you would have to unthread your entire shoulder strap, you'd have to put the D-ring on, you'd have to rethread your entire shoulder strap. But these are quick attach D-rings called the chop lock. So basically, you are getting ready for a dive, you decide you want to dive your rebreather this go around, and you're just going to slide that onto your webbing. You don't have to unweave anything, you don't have to mess with the core like configuration of your gear. And shabam, clip your chop on, you're ready to go.
There it is.
Yeah, and like you said, there's a million other things you could use these for.
Yeah, camera for sure.
Yeah.
If I throw it on, like when I'm using my camera, I've got a dedicated D-ring for it.
Yeah.
So it's not rattling around with lights and other things that I've clipped off.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when I'm not taking my camera, I can just take it off and leave it.
Yeah, excellent.
My saber dive kit.
And then you don't, like for me personally, I'm a little OCD, so I don't like to swim around. If I'm not diving the rebreather, I don't like to just have an extra set of D-rings for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I am too lazy to unthread my entire shoulder strap and remove them.
You're not going to do that.
Yeah, so these are
Nobody
perfect.
would. That'd be madness.
We did make some updates to our dry suit.
Sweet.
I think that's the last. So what we've done for our suit is we've basically switched to welded seams instead of taped seams. So those are a little bit more robust, going to hold up longer over time. And you can now get the suit in a full olive drab green. We kind of like it because it reminds us of like a flight suit.
Yeah.
Like what we were going for.
Yeah.
Also, you can get it in black, and it's got a little bit slimmer of a cut. So you can still get the SciTech ring system, user changeable seals. This one happens to have attached seals, and you can get socks. This one has attached boots, but there are options, and we've got stock sizes, and we can do custom as well.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Very cool.
As with everything the Dive Rite does, it's a case of continual modification, looking at something like a D-ring. Something as basic as a D-ring and being like, okay, how can we make a D-ring better?
If you would
It's
like.
just a constant process of refinement and just improving little tiny things all the time to put the best products out there. Avelo is not a fad. Avelo is a booming company with so many haters, and I am just laughing now so hard in my soul because so many people have been proven wrong. Let me say again, Avelo is not a gimmick. It is a serious piece of scuba diving equipment that is going to become the way we all just learn to dive and continue to dive. They're not there yet. They'll tell you that themselves, but they are booming. They are growing. Like Dive Rite, they're one of the few companies that's got the larger booth where everyone else is shrinking, getting smaller. So as someone who has actually just dived the Avelo system and been certified upon it, don't comment on this video, don't criticize Avelo unless you've actually dived it, right? Don't knock it till you try it. That's all I can really say. They are now in 61 dive centers on, I think, 4 or 5 different continents. So I had the chance to sit in the Avelo booth and catch up with my good pal, Jennifer Idle, who had this to say.
We are very purposeful in our growth.
Yeah.
I've experienced and heard just visually, you can see people say, I remember when you were just a little booth at DEMA show in the corner back somewhere.
Yeah.
And now we are a big wide booth with a much bigger presence because we offer training, we offer the Avelo system, and we're also a big member of the dive community supporting Avelo dive centers, trying to bring us all together. So we've got a whole bunch going on, and the same is true for the system in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So how many centers are you up to now? It's in the 50s, right?
In 2023, we just had a center in Maui, and by December 23, we had a few more than that. In 2025, we have 55 Avelo dive centers.
Around the world as well. You're on 3 or 4 continents, I think, now?
We have dive centers in Australia, in Europe, in Asia, in North America, and I guess Central America with Mexico in Cancun, or Cozumel.
Super cool, super cool.
Yeah.
So first off, congratulations. I am going to be talking to Shearwater at 3 o'clock, and they are very excited about their collaboration with Avelo. What can you share with us about what Shearwater are doing?
Shearwater is doing cool stuff. I've loved Shearwaters for ages. As you know, we both have technical diving backgrounds. The Avelo system is a recreational dive system, not yet available to technical divers, and so it's amazing that Shearwater is on board, and that's because they have powerful, reliable technology that is simple, and that's also why we're such a good partnership. We have shared values in our brand and trying to connect people and give them a better experience underwater.
I don't think we've ever shown this off before.
This is new
on the actual channel. So what's going on here?
People wonder how it works, and it's easy to say, oh, it's the Avelo system has a jetpack and a hydro tank. This is the hydro tank cut open, but what's happening on the inside? We use water to manage your buoyancy. The battery on the jetpack powers a pump. This is the same for the Shearwater jetpack to pump water into the bottom of the tank. The bladder contains your air, and we explain that this is the bladder, and you can see it's semi-rigid, semi-flexible. Like, you can see that it compresses when the water comes into the tank. And that's how we add water to the system to become neutrally buoyant. And then once during your dive, you add a bit more water when you become that bit lighter after you've consumed that gas. Yep. And then you let the water right back out where it goes, becoming lighter again at the end of your dive. When you're done with the dive.
So the way I like to explain it to people is your traditional scuba, you are setting your weight at the start of the dive and adjusting your buoyancy in only one way by adding or removing gas from your BCD. But the better way to do that is, instead of adding air to compensate against the weight, is just to have the right amount of weight from the start and not need anything to add air to. And that's what you're basically doing here. You're adjusting. Imagine if this was molten lead pouring in here, like traditional scuba weights, you're adjusting the amount of weight you need as the dive goes on. So that's really good.
Variable buoyancy control, as I call it.
Exactly, variable buoyancy. So what's next?
Grow bigger. We also
world domination.
No. We're actually introducing a new course that we announced at the DEMA show. So this is special. It's not really public knowledge, but we are launching a course so that people can learn to dive the Avelo system who haven't yet learned how to dive. You can experience buoyancy and become an Avelo diver. You will be certified to be an Avelo diver, not to be diving a standard BCD. So that's exclusive.
Entry-level training for people who have never done traditional scuba before, and then they're going to start on Avelo and be certified as an Avelo diver.
And that is the biggest under the sheet news that we have unveiled, aside from partnering with Shearwater, with the new Shearwater jetpack, partnering with Scuba Pro, all of the Avelo Dive Center growth, Solitude Liveaboards and Resorts, which is a luxury resort brand over in Asia with the Philippines, and now they've launched the Maldives as well. So they're experiencing growth. And in January, I'm going to the Philippines on the first Avelo exclusive liveaboard. You must be Avelo certified to dive it. And I'll be doing a whole filmmaking thing. I finally get to see thresher sharks.
Oh, you're going to Malapascua?
Yes, nice. We'll be going from Cebu to Malapascua up through Anilao.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Awesome.
Also, all of you haters with the Avelo is a fad thing, you now have to break up with Shearwater. Shearwater launched their first piece of non-dive computer related equipment. Did they choose to make a pair of fins? No. Did they make a mask? No. Did they make a regulator? No. They chose to make the Shearwater jetpack for Avelo. specifically for Avelo. Not a BCD that works with traditional scuba diving, an Avelo jetpack. So Avelo and Shearwater, two companies I'm big fans of, are now hand in hand. That is awesome. The Avelo system now has solid backing from one of the most well-respected brands in all of scuba. Here's Ross from Shearwater explaining why they chose to partner with the Avelo system.
All right, so first and foremost, you know that Shearwater is about simple, it's about powerful, it's about reliable, it's about customer service, it's cutting edge. I mean, it really, Shearwater, we're about the diver. And historically, we have made the best computers that a bunch of technical divers were using, only. And then more and more that went into the recreational world. Yeah. And so recently, the shift, shall we say, has been simply, we can go on making our computers better. Yeah, we've got 4 of the most amazing computers in the world, but we're not changing the industry that way.
Yeah.
We've changed the industry in the computer world, but not in the dive world. This is cutting edge. This is not just diving. This is better diving. This is simpler diving, which goes with our mantra of more powerful, more simple, and it's reliable.
Yeah.
So Shearwater saw this and thought, okay, this is a way that we can change the industry for the better from the inside and get into gear.
Yeah.
What the amazing thing is that most companies will actually start with the BCD and then eventually have a computer or two.
Yeah.
This Shearwater.
Usually they'll get like a third-party company to make the computer,
right,
and they just brand it.
Right. So this isn't even a third party. This is literally Shearwater. This is Shearwater saying to Avelo, we want to create our version of the jetpack.
Yeah.
And Avelo went, you know what? You got a pretty good name in the industry. We'll partner with you. We think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great
I'm
idea.
sure that's what Jennifer was saying as well, right?
Absolutely.
So
I'd have made the same decision
yeah.
if it was me.
So what they did was they said, okay, if we're going to be a scuba industry or a scuba company for divers, then we're going to build dive gear by divers for divers.
For the future of diving.
For the future of diving.
Not something historical.
Right. So they literally, they brought in Aviad, the inventor. They had brought in myself. They brought in other Avelo experts that had already been diving the Avelo system for a long time. They said, how do we make this better? How do we make this gooder? What would you do? Yeah. And Shearwater said, it doesn't have to be necessarily better. We're just going to make it our version. So it's a little bit sleeker. There is a Batman effect.
Yeah.
Let's just face it. Shearwater is just cool. So it does have, it's got a jacket. It's a nice little hug.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more comfortable. It's got a little bit of padding in it.
Love it.
Thinking ahead, we're already doing things like doing marks for rental.
Right.
So that you can adjust it. There's a lot of there's a lot of adjustability. There are 2 different sizes. There's a medium small, there's a medium large.
Yep.
The medium small, I actually fit the end of the medium small, but I also fit the beginning of the medium large, which means I can overlap, or I can do dry suit in the medium large, for instance, right? Then we've got our own technology into the battery, a little bit stronger, a little bit longer life, a little bit more powerful. Same thing, we're using the same pump. We've just said, okay, we'd like to have a little bit different specifications on it. So it's a little bit lighter, which on the original FCM1 was about 1 pound. It would pull us over this way. This is 0.8 pounds lighter, so there's not that much of the yar any longer. We've also been able to figure out how to bring up and actually shorten the spool valve so it doesn't extend longer, right? Then we've got a hydro tank stop. So the tank actually sits right in here.
Snug.
The diver knows where it goes. It also keeps it snug because it pushes it a little bit into the jetpack itself. So it's a little bit more snug.
Lovely.
And when it actually starts to rise up, it's not just the tank that's rising off your back, it's you too. And so you press the button, you get some more water into it. And then the really cool thing is that the battery cap has like you see here, a high pressure quick disconnect that goes directly to the battery cap, directly into our first stage. So it's got the information
pressure straight in there.
Pressure straight directly, transmitter, fewer dropouts in Avelo mode. It's fantastic. So the transmitter is built in, so I can either use a console with the Peregrine TX, or I can use any one of the computers.
Sorry, say that again. The transmitter is built in.
The transmitter is built in.
Swift on top of.
You don't. This is a Swift.
This is a Swift.
This is a Swift, and it's the new Swift GPS.
With the GPS,
yes.
Of course, with the GPS.
Yeah, of course. You know,
I love it.
You know, and of course we've put a couple of other things inside there. They're not open yet because we're still working with them. Yeah. But when we upgrade it, it's not going to be one of those things where we have to upgrade the whole unit. We'll be able to upgrade the firmware. Yeah, which is the nice thing.
That's it.
You know, it's our product that we're able to actually look forward into the future to build.
No, it's super cool. So, you know, like I said, you know, when I was talking with Jennifer just now, and I'll edit that earlier in the video, obviously, you know, the first time we chatted them, the comment section just blew up with cynics.
Sure.
Right? So I hope that, you know, I don't want to gloat or anything, but I was an early backer of Avelo. I got certified on the system. You know,
great.
I love it, you know, and everyone was like, oh, you're mad. No, this is never going to catch on. And now with you guys throwing like so much weight behind it and putting so much time into the refinement of it, you took what Aviad had done and the genius of what he created, and you've made all these beautiful little refinements that it's, you know, it's just more proof to the fact that it's here to stay and it is going to be the future of diving.
Well, and the thing of it is, let's face it, the industry, I'm not going to say that the industry is fickle, the industry doesn't like new things.
No.
We've never liked new things.
It's incredible because we're such a technology dependent sport.
Absolutely.
And yet, when something new technology comes along to revolutionize, people are so resistant to it. So
look at what happened with nitrox.
Blows my mind. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
the devil's gas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the wonderful thing is that Jason, the new CEO, and the board have been able to see the fact that there is an innovation in this.
Yes.
The fact that they saw it early on and said, we want to be an early onset of this product and actually help bring it to market with our expertise, with our community. I mean, Shearwater's community. The company is amazing. I've been a Shearwater diver for over 20 years, but I've only just worked here since March, and I'm like a kid in a candy store because it is the coolest thing in the world. Because when they say we are all about our customer, that's exactly what they mean.
Yeah.
So because they're all about the customer, they're all about the diver. Because they're all about the diver, they want to make sure that the best gets into the product. So yes, they work hand in hand with Aviad. They work hand in hand. I mean, I'm brought on as the Avelo expert at Shearwater, and I get to bring Shearwater and Avelo to the rest of the world.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So next steps then. These are production models. These are out here, right?
These are out. So
Jen just said there's 55 Avelo centers around the world right now, and they're adding more and more.
They're actually now 61.
61. Yeah. See, Jen gave me all the data. well, I mean, it was. 30
it was just a couple minutes ago.
So 30 minutes ago. Now you're up to 61. Yeah. That's funny. So are these ready to ship? Are these going out to the new centers?
So these are going to go out in the new year.
Excellent.
I'm thinking maybe not ho ho ho, but maybe Martin Luther King Day. I have a dream. You know,
I think have a dream.
I have a dream.
Way to scuba dive.
I think that there is a distinct possibility of it.
I love it.
We are going in more and more to dive centers, making them Avelo dive centers, because of course, unless you're an Avelo dive center or an Avelo diver,
you can't dive.
You can't dive the gear. So yes, I was one that said, no, this isn't going to work about 2.5, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I tried it, and I haven't been into BCD in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Ever since. Because there's just no need to. It's freer. It's better. It's you turn into a fish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. And also with the data now that we can get with the Avelo mode, and we can look at the profile.
Yeah.
I'm no longer looking at, do I have 3,000 PSI? Do I have 2,700 PSI?
Yeah, what was my sac rate? You're measuring buoyancy.
I'm measuring buoyancy, and look, I've got 67% of my gas remaining.
Yeah.
I've got 50% of my gas remaining.
Yeah.
That's so much clearer than, because what is 2,200?
Yeah.
You know?
In what size cylinder?
In what size cylinder?
Yeah.
Is how cold is it? How hot is it? How much am I breathing? Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Ross, thank you so much for your time, mate.
It's my pleasure.
I wish you all the success in the world.
Also from Shearwater bring in GPS. I was joking in my intro, but yeah, it's about time. Like, GPS is a thing, it's out there now, and finally Shearwater have added it to their lineup. But being Shearwater, they did it the clever way. Rather than upgrading all of the different models of their computer, so if you've got a Peregrine, you now need to upgrade to the Peregrine GPS, the Tern, the Teric, the Perdix, they did it the simple way, and what they did was they put the GPS technology into the transmitter, into the Swift transmitter. So now it's just a Swift transmitter GPS, and rolling out this month and next month, they will be doing firmware updates for all of their current lineup of computers so that can talk to the GPS data that your Shearwater Swift GPS will now be gathering. So I caught up with my good buddy Tim, who is one of the product leads for Shearwater, and got the lowdown on the new Swift GPS from him.
Well, I mean, actually one of the hardest problems was like, what computer do we put it into, right? So we're gonna wait for the new one, make everyone buy another computer, and we did think about it, but GPS is tricky. The antenna is really hard to like get right, and to redo all the different products didn't really make a ton of sense from like an economic perspective, and also, what's your favorite? So what we did is, I think people know by now, we put it directly on the transmitter.
Love it.
And that way, in addition to the gas pressure, it also transmits the location. And not only does it do it to your computer, but to every computer that's around you.
Yeah.
So even if someone on the boat, it's like free advertising, right? Because someone on the boat's got it, and then suddenly a GPS icon pops up on your computer, and you're like, oh, I have my location.
There you go.
Yeah.
So automatically logging your dive sites into the app, right?
Yeah.
GPS coming in. And also, I guess the advantage of having it in the transmitter is when you surface, it's behind your head, it's on your first stage regulator, so it's getting a good strong signal. Your hand might still be in the water.
Exactly.
You know, with your computer on your wrist, but now you're going to get a direct, contact with the GPS satellites. And
where we dive in Vancouver, when we do our test diving, like often we're doing pretty long surface swims out to the good spots, the good walls. Right. So if you're just getting at the surface and then, swimming out, you're not going to know where you actually dropped.
Right.
So this gives you, both your entry and your exit. Now, one thing we did note is sometimes you're on a boat and, you pick up your GPS and you'll rip out to a dive site, but it might take 20 minutes to get out there. So, and then your computer shuts down and then you jump in the water. Well, you shouldn't, but you jump in the water and the computer turns on at 10 feet. You're like, oh, right, good, computer. And that GPS location ends up...
battery, that's good.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But we thought, like, what's better? Do we want it to be, really accurate and just give you nothing when that happens, or do we want to give you something? So we kind of made the decision that some information is better than no information. Maybe it reminds people, oh yeah, next time I should turn my computer on before I jump in the water. Right.
I think so. That's a great thing. Also good for stealing your buddy's secret fishing spots. When they take you out to their special lobster hole, but they won't let you look at the GPS screen on the Garmin on the boat console. You can actually steal their little locations now as you splash from their boat.
I don't advocate for stealing proprietary information.
Numbers. I love it. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. So so let me ask you: is there firmware? If I already got, which I already do, but let's say I've got a Perdix 2 already, and I get the new Swift with the GPS functionality, is there a firmware update for the computers?
So the firmware for the Square computers, that's the Perdix, the Petrol, the Peregrine, the Nerd is a square screen computer.
Yep.
All that's out already. It came out a couple days ago. The Teric and the Tern, which we'll also work with, Tern TX, will be out in a week or two. So we're just going through final testing there, and yeah, they should all update. The only other thing you'll need is, that'll obviously save your location to the computer, but you'll also need to download the new app.
Right.
So we have a new app that's going to be released in early December, and it's a reimagining of what the Shearwater dive app should be. Previously we have a pretty comprehensive list of dives, and you can go in and on your rebreather see your millivolt values and what your PO2s are. That still exists, but this is a bit more of a user-friendly, honestly, I don't put my logs in my app that often, and when I get on there, I see a list of dives that I didn't record the locations.
Yeah, so now you'll be able to dump them in.
Cool. So now you can look at the island of Bonaire and see all the spots you actually went diving.
Yeah.
Right, which gives it a bit more of an interactive, user-friendly. Yeah.
Now, when you say new app, is it a new app, or is it an upgrade to the one that's
It's a new app, so it's a completely re-platforming.
So if I've got thousands of dives in the old app, can I...
It will automatically migrate those dives for you.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I don't want to do extra steps. We don't want you to do extra steps.
Yeah, we don't want to lose log dives either.
Yeah, exactly.
People get very upset about that.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
I will do a dedicated video on the Shearwater Swift GPS in the coming months. I'm just waiting for the new app to launch, which apparently is coming in the first couple of weeks in December. I have already done the firmware update for my Shearwater X 2 Journeys edition. So I've done some dives with the Swift GPS and the X 2, and they are talking to each other, and I've got the data, but I can't show you it until the new app comes out and I can actually bring up the actual map of, oh look, that's where I dove, that's where I got in, that's where I got out. Pretty cool stuff. You just have to wait for that. That's my dog going mental. Trim dive is a thing that exists. Yeah, I couldn't get anyone at the Trim Dive booth to talk with me on camera, mainly because they were constantly swamped all the time. Every time I passed by, they were completely rammed with people. But basically, what you have here is 2 DPVs, which are mounted on your back, either side of your cylinder configuration, with a control module that sits right here on your chest, and you can kind of steer and drive and there. Now you know as much as I do about it. It is a thing that it exists. Yeah. Stream to Sea wants you to smell better. Stream to Sea love you, don't get me wrong. They just want you to up it a little bit with the personal hygiene. I can't say I blame them. So imagine the power of, you know, the dog pee carpet shampoo, the urine destroyer or whatever you call it, paired with Stream to Sea's endless mission to keep harmful chemicals out of our oceans and off of our corals. You kind of have this, the new water sport gear wash from Stream to Sea. So this is super concentrated. You basically add it to your rinse tank, and if you happen to have, you know, warmed up your wetsuit somewhat, it's going to help you break down and get the stink out of it. Obviously, these are just little samples I got given at DEMA to try it out. I put it in my rinse tank already. It is a very pleasant piney smell, which does nothing to remind me of the ocean, but way better than the smell of urine, I guess. Also available by the gallon, so watch out for that. On the subject of ocean chemicals, Defog may be a thing of the past. At DEMA, Benassi announced a new mask that allegedly never needs defog and requires no preparation before first use. You basically get it out, take the little stickers off it, slap it on your face and go diving, and it will never fog. How? You say, well, apparently it's some kind of nanotechnology they've mounted into the lens itself. It's not a coating or a chemical coating or anything like that, but basically the actual quality of the lens itself has been given some kind of a nano treatment. Details on this were a little sketchy, but I'm going to look into it more. And basically it doesn't fog up at all. So I got given one of these masks at the DEMA show, and I am looking forward to testing it. I'm skeptical, of course, because my mask now, even with the defog process that I use, 1 in 100 dives, it will just decide to fog for no reason at all. So I am a little bit skeptical about this. Can't wait to try it. Could be a game changer, could be complete nonsense. I don't know yet. But I can say if it does work, it's genius, because defogging is annoying. It's an unnecessary step, and like, we're going to save gallons and gallons of baby shampoo around the world from going into the oceans, and that is not a bad thing. Reef Track is coming. Last but by no means least, the product that probably excited me the most during my time at the DEMA show is Reef Track. Now, I don't want to say too much at this stage because the product isn't even out yet. They do have a functioning website, which I will link together with all the brands that I'm mentioning in the description of this video below. But basically, these guys are on a mission to make divers safer, using citizen science, and I'm going to champion them in any way I can, because I believe that their goals are aligned with mine, and that is to keep divers as safe as possible. So watch this space, more to come in the future. I genuinely believe that for most newer divers, one of the most, anxiety causing aspects of scuba diving is navigation. And I think that Reef Track are coming up with a product that's going to be accessible and is just gonna take a lot of the worries away from underwater navigation. Super excited. As I said, don't want to say too much at this stage, but watch the channel for more details, because yeah, I want this to be a thing. More to come. In general, I had a better DEMA show than I've had in previous years, and I think it's because I only attended last minute. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not, so I didn't set up a huge bank of meetings. I did get to go to the D.A.N party and say hello to my friends there. I even recorded an episode of the D.A.N Cast podcast, which should be out sometime in the new year, and I'll share that on Instagram when it launches, of course. I got to hang out with friends. I got to relax a little bit, walk around the show floor at my own pace. Normally when I know I'm going to DEMA, obviously it's like meetings. I'm just running around like a headless chicken. It wasn't that this year, and it was a lot more enjoyable for me. I want to say thank you to everyone who stopped me and had kind words about the channel, or said hello, or wanted a selfie and all that kind of fun stuff. That's a nice thing. So thank you to all of you guys. Keep rocking and doing what you're doing. And yeah, more to come on all those items that I mentioned in DEMA in featured videos later in the year for sure. Until then, of course, I will put the links to everything that I've talked about here in the description of the video below. So if you've got a desire to learn more about Reef Track or Rite's new products or this, that, and the other, check it all out down there. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned something, and share it with your dive buddies. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Dive safe, dive often.